All right. Well, welcome back to Post Frame 360. One of your hosts, Scott Cragg, and sporting a black Burroughs hat, which are no longer available. This will one day be vintage. Josh Nowlin.
Hey, y'all. Good morning. Happy to be here.
Josh is from Texas, but he just said, hey, y'all. And just so you know, the reason he said that is because he'll be headed to our great state this afternoon. And so, trying to be an authentic Okie, he said, y'all.
Hey,
well
y'all.
Done.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, so today our topic is cleverly titled Tie Off, Bro. And I know, right? Yeah.
I like it.
That's part of my joys of doing this podcast is coming up with some catchy titles. I feel like now we're at that point where if I were to just say, hey, we're going to talk about Ridgeline Safety Systems, it'd be like, what? So tie off, bro. So we are talking about Ridgeline Safety Systems. We shared this a little bit, I don't know, maybe October, November. We were talking a little bit about some new products and things coming out. But the Ridgeline Safety System is absolutely something that as hopefully you listen to this podcast this morning and we get past that, you'll be like, oh, I want to include these on my job. While there is a cost associated with it, the cost of not using them is much higher. So,
oh yeah,
Josh.
Hey, you know, I remember, I think it was the first time we talked about them on our podcast, which is crazy. It's coming up. It's going to be a year before long because
I know, right?
I remember coming out of the NFBA and we had an episode and we talked about what did I see there? What was my favorite products? And and I remember talking about Ridgeline Anchor at that point because it was one of the coolest products I saw there. And ironically enough, and we've been talking about the NFBA show and it's coming up in like 6 weeks. And we just got a shipment literally this week, arrived at our location, a shipment of the Ridgeline anchors. So we've got them in the system. We've got the SKUs made. We've got the pricing. We've got it all lined out. Should have them in your smart build packages. If you don't, let me know. I'll get you a package in your smart build. And yeah, I'm just excited. I mean, it's just like, wow, almost a year has gone by. And we finally, the thing I thought was the coolest at the show last year, we finally have.
Yeah.
We move slow sometimes, you know. We don't rush into things.
You know, we said this yesterday. Sometimes slow is fast, right? I would much rather we release something that is, you know, completely ready to go in stock so that like today when we're talking about this, you can be like, oh my gosh, I want these. And we can fulfill not, oh, okay, well, I'm glad you heard about that. We'll have those in a month or so, right? So this was something that we wanted to, you know, make sure that we planned well for, you know, and I think one of the thoughts around this, you know, and you're maybe like, okay, so what are you talking about? Josh, do you have one of those that you can hold up?
Yeah, I do.
Some context around what we're talking about.
So they make, and I've learned a lot about them in the last year. Okay. So here's one. This is the one that we stock. And you see that this one's bent, right? It's bent to about a 412 pitch. Now they have this little slot here in the middle. And you think, man, how do you bend that? Because when they ship them, and I have this one, which is a hybrid shingle option we'll talk about later, you see it's flat. Well, this is how they ship. We save money shipping them flat. So what you do is you just bend them right over whatever you have there, your truss on the ground before you hang it. And you just put it up against and apply some pressure and you just bend it to that 412 pitch. And
so you basically really cool. When you install it, you're going to screw it to one side and it's going to be flat. You're going to screw it to one side of your truss, right? And it's
right here.
And it's going to be sticking up. Yeah, and so it's going to be sticking up on the other side, and you just basically take your foot and push it down.
Yeah, that's another way to do it. Yeah,
really, really, really easy to install.
And you could put you screw through it, and we can send you a link to a video, but you screw through the top of the truss and the side, and then your purlin sits right in here. And I know it's 1.5 inches, so we'll say like that. Your purlin sits in here, and then the metal nests, your sheet metal roofing nestles in under that, and then your ridge cap goes right over the top, and all that sticks out is this little tab, you know.
Right.
A little tab, and that's where you hook off to, you know. And this is just such a cool product. It's tested. It's It's gone through all the OSHA certification stuff. It is heavy duty, and in a lot of fall arrest systems, and the ones I've used, they're kind of hokey, and you put them on the truss, and then you have to, before you put ridge cap on, you've got to take them off, and at that point you've already got the metal on, and it's just you want, I guess one of the things that Ridgeline does is they make safety easy, like
Mhm.
so easy, because you can put them on the ground. um when you hoist them up and then your guys get up there, you can hook right to them, right?
Mhm.
It just makes a lot of sense, and you can hook to it and let your rope hang and then grab it, hook to it. So the whole time you're elevated, you can be hooked to something, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's a no brainer. It looks good. It's painted. You can't even you would never see them from the ground unless you knew they were there and you were looking for them.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah. I'll give you my full sales pitch. I know you don't want to hear it all in one shot, but yeah, this is a good,
It's a great
and
product, right?
yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's a great product, and it's not just for you and your crew when they're there, but if this is easy to, it's really easy to have this conversation with your customer, right? You tell them, "Hey, we're going to put this in. I do this for my crew's safety. If we ever have to come back out and say do a repair, let's say you want to put Christmas lights on your building, like this is something that is there for anyone that would ever need to be on that roof." Okay, so it's a pretty easy discussion point, in my opinion. You just put it into the building. I mean, you could talk about it if you want to. You're going to know the customer you're in front of. But in my mind, this is a non negotiable, right? You got to have
Hmm.
fasteners to put the building together. You got to have metal to put on it. The Ridgeline safety system, it just goes in there. I mean, I don't think I would even talk about it. I would just include it in my bid. Now, your next question is, well, how much is that going to cost, right? Like, I don't know. I can get this. These are 71.50 each. Okay. 71 bucks. Now the next question is, well, how many do I need? And the part on this is it's going to vary how many you need,
Hmm.
and let me explain why. So let's say I've got a 30 by 40 building. Okay. So 30 wide, 40 long. What you want to think about is the distance from the peak of the roof to the gable, the end wall, right? Not the gable, sidewall. Um, think about that. So if I've got a 30 by 40, half of that is 15, right? But I've got a slope. So let's say my roof length is 20 feet. Easy math.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't want to put one of these right in the middle of the building. Okay. Because I've got to go, if I put it right in the middle of a 40, I've got to go 20 feet that way and some change. And I've got to go 20 feet the other way. But if my roofer or someone falls, by the time if they do a complete fall, they catch, they're already off the side. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you place these far enough that if someone falls, they're caught before they go off the edge. So on a 30 by 40, for example, I'm going to do two, and I'm going to properly space them so that I can work. Does that make sense, Josh?
Yeah, it does. And for me in my brain, I'm thinking, 30 by 40. If you're a lot of our clients space their trusses 5 foot on center.
Mhm.
So if you put one at 10 foot and one at 20 foot and one at 30 foot, you've got three on your building. You're investing $210. You know,
Mhm.
your client's going to pay for it. You just roll it in, put it in there, and then
Yep.
explain why you do it, and you do it for them. And I guarantee you, who you're bidding against is not doing it.
Right.
It's another advantage for $210, and it's lifetime of a safety on a building. And it's if you're like me and you're Scott, man, I can't, man, I don't want to do that, like figure out this and the length and how far I can take how long is my rope or uh, just, hey, I know I've got a 40 foot. I know, if I do 10 foot on center, and the guys that have been using them, I've heard 10 to 12 foot on center is good. But
Yep.
if you've got a truss, and these attached to the truss,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest just doing every other truss or
Right. Yeah. And
um,
that's where I was going to go as well. Either
yeah,
every
yeah,
10 or every 15, right? Like
right,
10 or 15 is you're going to have
yeah.
a tie off point that's going to allow you to maneuver across that roof line. Something else you said there. So not a lot of other people are using this, right? Competitive distinction. We've talked about this a little bit. What makes you different? Okay. So I understand the dynamic of you, our listeners. Some of you have crews that are your employees. Some of you contracted out. Okay. So I want to address that from 2 points. If these are your employees, right, you get to dictate, hey guys, you're tying off. Now, here's the other thing that you need to understand about this. We're providing the brackets. If you've not used something like this before, you're going to need to make sure your guys have a harness, right? Something that they can wear. And you're going to need proper ropes. Don't go down to Lowe's and buy hemp rope. Okay. You need to buy rope designed for life safety.
Uh-huh.
It's not super expensive. And we're going to talk about that. Here's our next point. It's not super expensive, but it is an initial upfront investment. Okay. So I wanted to be very clear. It's not like, hey, here's the bracket. You're good to go. You need to be thinking, I need harnesses. My guys are going to need harnesses, and I'm going to need ropes, and I'm going to need carabiners to tie off on.
You did mention Lowe's, and I will tell you, all big box stores have lanyards. They have the
Yes.
the
And
tie
they have life safety rope. I'm
they
just
have life
saying, don't
safety
cut
rope.
corners and buy the
Right,
wrong rope to save
right.
money. You're not going to use
And
cotton rope, right?
I think when I bought mine, Scott, I have one I keep in my truck because I never
Mm-hmm.
know, and I might be on a job site and need to get up on a roof or something.
Yep.
And I was at Home Depot, and it was a kit. It came in a bucket. It looked like a little
Yes.
1 gallon bucket, and
Yep.
you put your everything goes in it. The rope, I'm having a hard time. What's the safety?
Harness.
The thing you put on the harness. Couldn't find that word for the life of me. I've only drank half of my cup of coffee this morning.
Oh, dude, you're too far behind, man.
Man, I know it. But yeah, so your harness, and everything's in the bucket. It was like maybe $110 or something.
Yep.
And I just keep it in the truck with my hard hat, my safety glasses, and my tape measure, and anything I could need when I visit a job site.
Right. And here's the thing, right? So guys, if you're going to do this, if these are your employees, right? So we're still in my employee mindset. You can buy these for your employees. This is a tax write-off. Okay. Keep your receipt, document it properly. You get to take this off your taxes, right? This is equipment for your business, right? So that's when they're your employees. You can make this mandatory. And I'm telling you, for the company that I previously worked for, you got one warning. Probably shouldn't have done that, but hey, I need crew. You got one warning. If we ever showed up, I, as the building consultant project manager, our safety professional, or the job crew supervisor, if we ever showed up and you were not tied off and you were on the roof, it was an automatic written write-up, and there was no second. Okay. Now you might be thinking, that's kind of harsh. And well, if I fire a guy, then I don't have anyone to build. That's what you have to make the decision on for your business, because that's the next question the next question, the discussion is, the cost is so high if someone gets hurt. Okay. It is so high. You're down a crewman. If they're your employee, you better have general liability and workers' comp. You're required to by law. Now, if they're a 1099 independent contractor, shaky ground, but you still need to get some good legal advice around that, because they can still try to sue you. Okay. But again, even retaining a lawyer, think about that. Josh just said you can get a harness and a bucket, let's say $150, and I put the safety system, I got 2 of them. Okay. So now I'm out $140. I mean, think about that. You can get your crew safe, these things installed for less than most 1-hour attorney fees.
Oh yeah.
Are we getting this, guys? We're kind of putting this in context. So if I were you, these are my employees, I would make this mandatory. You're at the beginning of the year. I don't know where you are with your finances, but if it's not in your budget right now, figure out how to make it happen. Okay. Go sell something that you're not using. It's too important not to.
Yeah, and I think it's important too. You spin it in one of two ways, right? A lot of builders are young guys and they don't use their heads. And I mean, hey, we've been there, right, Scott? I know I
Never.
have. I've been on top
No,
of the
never.
building without being tied off too many times. I thank the good Lord that I'm still alive today to be talking here on this podcast with you because I've done
Mm-hmm.
some stupid shit. And please listen, do not do it. Do not take a risk. Just you can mandate it, like Scott said. It's this or else.
Yeah.
You know, but you could also help these guys understand the importance of not falling, not, you know, dying or getting hurt or sitting in a wheelchair the rest of your life, you know, for what? For
Yeah.
what? You
And that's
know?
the thing is you're not being a jerk. You're actually being extremely intentional
Mhm.
about their safety and sending them home either to their family or sending them home so they can come back to work tomorrow.
I want to share a funny story and I'll try not to botch it. And if he listens to this podcast, he might think, Josh, you don't listen worth a shit. You're an idiot. But um, I called the owner of Ridgeline one evening. I had a question for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I know him well. He's, you know, he answered the phone, of course. And we were talking for a little while. And I said, well, what are you up to? And he said, well, I'm at dinner with my wife and my son. It's the anniversary of his fall.
Mm,
So, you know, I take my kids and my wife and I take our kids. Pick your place for your birthday dinner. We're going to go, we're going to celebrate you on your birthday. They're celebrating the day he fell because he's alive, you
mm,
know? And
mm.
that's the day Todd realized I need to change the way I do things. Cause up until
Right.
that point, they weren't tying off either.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is because of him
Yep.
and because of that fall. And you know, I don't want anybody listening to us to have to go out and celebrate, you know, the fact that your son or your daughter is alive
Yep.
because they survived a fall that they shouldn't have survived.
Right. Yeah. And we're not trying to sensationalize this, right? Like this is reality. The company that I previously worked for, it was mandatory to tie off. Someone didn't do it. They fell. Uh, to this day, they will be in a wheelchair the rest of their life, paralyzed from the neck down. It's just not worth it. Like it's not
Uh-uh.
worth it. All right. So then that's kind of the next part about this. You know, when you think about well, no, I got too far ahead. Let's go back to if subcontractors. Okay. So you sub out your crew. When you sub out the crew, you don't really probably have a lot of say so. However, you do, right? Because you're paying them to do a job on your behalf. Um, I would rather you say, this is what I require. And you better have a contract with your subs. I hope you have a contract with your subs, and you should put it in your contract that every job I produce has the Ridgeline Safety System on it. You are expected as my subcontractor to ensure that all crew is properly tied off on every single job. You need to have that because you may think, well, I sub them. They get hurt. It's not on me. Yeah, it is. I mean, we are in such a litigious society right now. Any opportunity to sue someone so I don't have to work the rest of my life, I can just go live hey, don't put yourself in that position, man.
Uh-uh.
Don't do it. You can require this to be done. And we're talking in the grand scheme of a building, we're talking pennies, right? And I don't have time to unhook and hook back up. That's going to slow me down. No. I mean, you're talking click. And here's the other thing. You need to click on, don't unclick and go click on, right? So you got to be thinking about that too. You secure, and then unsecure, right? You may be thinking, guys, this is too much. What's the real cost for
Mhm.
not thinking about safety on your job? And I've said this last time. Imagine your homeowner sitting there, they do it. I've been there, sitting at the coffee table, watching out the window, mm, watching their building go up. and one of your crewmen falls and your homeowner witnesses that.
No bueno.
No bueno, right?
Yeah, and it's so easy to put on and just like Scott said, just make it a habit, just make it part of your program, just do it, just require it.
Yep.
And again, build it in. The homeowner is going to love it because my wife absolutely hates it when I set that ladder up on the side of the house
Mm-hmm.
and go up to the roof. I
Yep.
mean, and you know what? The older I get, I don't like it either. I'm actually, I think I'm going to hire a roofer to come out and take some ridge cap off and actually put a few of these on my house. I think if I put 3 or 4 of them on in various locations, I could tie off when I'm up there. And I think it, definitely going to do it. I'm just trying to decide if, we've listed our house for sale and do I've kind of decided I was going to hold off on this one. And then when I buy my new house, I'm definitely going to put them on.
Right. Absolutely. And here's the other thing, Josh. These are so easy to install. You're talking grand scheme, let's say 3 minutes to put it on on a truss. Probably gonna do it a whole lot quicker than that, right? It's too simple. And then you're like, well, what happens whenever it's time to look? You lay your purlins on there. It goes right up underneath it. You're not even going to see that it's there. Then the next part is your metal slides right up underneath it. Okay, no big deal. And then it sits below the ribs, so then when you go to put on your ridge cap, nothing changes. You're like, well, I'll use inside closures. What? Nothing changes. You put your inside closures in, everything's fine, right? So this is something that is too affordable and too easy not to use. Now, last part. If you're like, okay, Scott, Josh, I'm in. I'm going to do this. Here's the next part. You got to take time to make sure your crews know how to install this. Okay. It's not hard, but don't order these and just say, oh, I put those in there. Like, they need to know how to install them. So we have videos. Ridgeline Safety has some great videos. You'll see it and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's simple, right? So if you're going to adopt this, do your due diligence. Make sure you have a crew meeting. Okay, this doesn't have to be a big deal. Have a crew meeting. We are going to be using these. I've shared a video with you. You can email it to them. You can download this video. This is how you install it. I want you using it on every single building. And if I ever show up, and guys, please, 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 please. I'm gonna, Josh, can I soapbox for a minute?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, guys. When we deliver products to your job site, please don't wait until the day of when your crew shows up to build. That be the first time you've had your materials looked through. Okay. We do a really good job of trying to go through everything and make sure everything's ready to go. But mistakes happen. Okay. Mistakes happen. Whether maybe we forgot to do something, maybe something got damaged, a piece of trim got scratched in delivery. No one could have known, but it got scratched. Maybe Farmer John backed into it, getting a little up in years and backed into a trim bucket. Your crew shows up to build. Oh, crap. We got someone back to the trim bucket. Oh, this piece is scratched. And then you're calling me and the job is 6 hours away going, we got damaged stuff. That's my soapbox. Please. Like, I know you're like, I don't have time to drive out, look at that job site. Man, I'm telling you, the cost, and this is how, as a business owner, cost isn't necessarily what am I putting out? It's time, right? Time is money. So think about that. Try to get it in your schedule once a week, once every other week. I go to my job site, Burroughs dropped a load of material. I'm going to run by there and look at it. And hey, here's the opportunity, guys. It's another opportunity to interface with your customer.
That's right.
You know how good that looks for you? You don't show up when you're ready for a paycheck. You show up to check. How you doing? Oh, man, yeah, materials are here. My crew will be here next week. Want to make sure if they, oh, you know what? I got a piece of trim here that's damaged. I don't like that for my clients. Let me take care of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's great.
Manage your business.
100%. No, that's good stuff. Yeah, no. So where do we leave this, Scott?
All right. How do you order them? Guys, these are in stock. We got them in stock yesterday. So you just tell your customer service representative, whether that's Amy or Ramey or Elliot or Crystal or not really me. You know what?
You can do it.
I've got a great team. I've got a great team. I'm not great at entering orders. Our software system, whew. So, man, we got a great team. So tell your CSR, if you do not have Smart Build, say, hey, listen to Scott and Josh, and I want to use the Ridgeline Safety System. Tell them what you need. They'll take care of you. If you have Smart Build, it's in there. Okay? Click on it. Put that in there. It's too easy not to.
I think Smart Build figures every 10 foot. So if they just click the button and then refresh, I think if it's a 40-foot building, like I said, it'll add 3 to the building. Yep. You won't even know the difference. And and so definitely get it done. I do, some of our clients do some metal roofing, they roof houses and things. So they have brackets for that as well. The one I showed early on, the flat one, that one is, you literally screw that one down through the OSB into the rafter and then shingle up under it and put your shingle cap over it. I mean, so that easy.
And I'm going to be personally here at the borough's office. I'm going to be building. We've got a wall that used to have a TV on it. We took that off, and I'm going to be building a facade on that. And we're going to have the ridge line. And so I'm going to do it kind of like a cutaway of the roof, and you'll actually see the Ridgeline Safety System, and then you'll see the metal kind of come over part of it. So you'll actually see how that gets installed if you ever want to get eyes on. But these are ready to go. Order them. Super simple. In the video. So those of you who go back, we set this up, guys, and I know we're over time. Sorry. We set this up to listen, like you're driving in your truck, you can listen to the podcast. I would really encourage you to go back and watch the YouTube portion, and I always provide that link, but go watch us on YouTube because I put up, web addresses, I put up different links. And so in here, right here, Josh likes to go put it right here.
Right here.
I'm going to put a link in here to the Ridgeline YouTube channel that shows you how to install this.
Yeah, and I think we have ridgelinesafety.com is a good resource, and I'll plug our YouTube channel. We have a project in there, the Stacy Lynn Woodhouse project. And we use Ridgeline. There's a video and like around a 3-minute clip of the owner of the construction company and the owner of Ridgeline having a conversation and showing how easy it is to install. So that's a really good video, and I recommend watching that.
And if you heard what Josh just said, 3 minutes. I mean, if you've got an instructional video that shows you how to install something and it only takes 3 minutes, dude, it's like so easy, man. So easy. So Josh, what do we need our listeners to do?
Hey, you need to look down below, like and subscribe, and share our podcast, please. We would appreciate that and help us get the good word out. And until next time.
Thank you, guys. And I would say, at least for this one, please share this one. I think the idea of crew safety goes beyond boroughs. It goes beyond just you as our customer. Man, safety is something. I want to see everyone go home. Okay. I want to see everyone go home at the end of the day. This is too simple not to do. So I'm sitting here looking at my eyebrows. It's like, oh, man, he's so serious. I'm pretty serious about this, man. I've known people that have gotten hurt on the job. And it's something you can't unsee. And unfortunately, if you're the leader on the job, the owner, whatever, I think you'll always question, could I have done something to prevent this? Don't let yourself be in that position. Okay?
No, sir. All right, Scott. Have a good one, buddy.
See you guys.
See you tomorrow.